Good morning. Let's talk about blockchain. Now, blockchain, a lot of people are, connect everything to Bitcoin. But blockchain's been around for quite some bit. Blockchain is basically like a secured system. That's why it'll be the nerve system. So we have the internet, all right, and the internet is the informational highway, or at least that's how we see it. But that internet isn't secure, right? So, how many people throughout the years received different letters that this account was hacked, that account's hacked? The companies want all your information, but at the same time, they can't protect the information. Along comes blockchain. Blockchain right now, just like the internet when it started in its infancy, is still clunky, still has things that get ironed out. Now, we're 14 years into knowing it after being Bitcoin, but there's a lot of other industries it's going to disrupt. It won't just be the financial sector. Um, that's where it'll start because that's where the money is, right? We got to go where the money is. They're going to start tokenizing everything. So Bitcoin is a coin. It's limited. It's exchanged as value. But with blockchain, you can actually create projects and have tokens represent different things, all right, or have tokens backed by different things. That's what would basically give its value. Now, like anything else, there's tons of scams out there. You have to know what you're looking into and what's going on. But being that it can secure information, it's on a ledger that anyone can see. It can settle very quick. I mean, Bitcoin being it's the granddaddy, it takes a little longer because it was early in technology. But now, I mean, depending on what technology you are looking at, it can settle in a matter of seconds. So instant settlement, not something the central banks or banks can do, makes a major difference, right? So if you have business, what are you waiting? Days, weeks, depending on what kind of money coming in or wire transfers. If you're doing dealings internationally or cross borders, all this will completely change how money is moved. But that's just a start. So now they can securely tokenize, in a sense, or have a record or ledger of what everyone owes each other and use it as money and transfer it back and forth. Okay? Why not do that with everything else? You hear people familiar with Larry Fink. Larry Fink from BlackRock wants to tokenize everything, right? They want to put real estate, securities, throw everything on the blockchain. And let me tell you, it'll happen. It is happening. All right. We're at the early stages somewhat. We're deep in other stages of it. It's just people don't realize. Most people don't realize until after it happened. And that's the worst thing you can possibly do. Now, it's not saying we should force everyone to pay attention because that just won't happen either. You're always going to have people that lag behind for multiple reasons. It's not just because they don't know. It's not just they're dumb people of knowledge, but it doesn't interest them, and it might not interest them until they see why it should interest them or it has value to them. What I'm saying is that these techs are going to very easily be layered on top of each other. The internet being the highway, it had to be excavated, right? Like these woods. To put a road through here, it would take time to take down all the trees, to lay down a foundation, to put concrete, to asphalt it, run lights, paint lines. The internet took years and is still being worked upon. Now we're advanced to the point where, Elon Musk has satellites. And not only will it be for our mobile devices, but it'll be to stream internet. But that's going to be used for all kinds of different data. When we start speaking about data, you have to realize that data is the new oil. Data is going to be used in everything. It already is. If you look around in big business, what are they doing? So why wouldn't you want to figure out whatever business you're involved in, how you can change your business to flow with all this, because this is the direction that the stream is going, and the blockchain will be the nerve system of this whole big ball of different technologies that we have rolling out here. The AI will make it efficient as it rolls out. We see with this administration, they're making all kinds of different laws. They're working on clarity. They're working on regulation. It's probably not because they give two craps about you or me. It's because this is where it's going. A lot of them, if you look deeper back into their background, they have major involvement in digital assets. So it benefits them. All right. I mean, let's be real. That's what it comes down to. And these things, not only the cryptos or the digital assets, but the digital dollar, the stable coin. They tried to put in a central bank digital currency in many countries already that people didn't grab because who wants that? These stable coins are basically like one of those in disguise, but you'll end up using them just like people didn't want to use credit cards. And now look how many people carry around cash. It makes it simpler, especially for business. So with that being said, if you start designing a foundation for your business to use stable coins, okay, along with AI, you're going to build yourself a system that is going to put you ahead of the pack, all right? Because a lot of people are definitely way behind on all this. One thing with it being out for 14 years, a lot of people thought, it's not going to do nothing. Just like when the internet bubble popped, they thought, the gold rush is over because they, like I said earlier, we're looking at it like a casino because it was. When money first comes into an industry, the bubble, that's where everything gets tried out. It bursts, and the cream of the crop rises to the top. And then from that point, okay, things start to become valuable. They start to gain value. And that's, where you want to be. Unfortunately, it takes patience to do that, right? Everyone wants the quick win. Boom. Put it all on red. I got it. They don't want that long, drawn out, wait until it has value. They just want to get it and go get something, to stroke themselves, to be happy with the money they got or the value that they got. If you look at it through business terms, all right, especially in the opticians, the trades, the services, small business, these tools are instant settlement, instant payment. It wipes out, you see Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, etc. coming out with stuff. But in all honesty, it cuts them all out. There's no need for it. And tools to use them, meaning cryptos or digital assets, will become very common. There's tons of companies working on it. So one of the things we're working on is actually an automation where you can use AI, building a custom AI. Well, I have one built. I'm fine tuning it now, where you can easily go on and just describe to the AI what your business is doing. And what it'll do, it'll give an audit. It'll consider what you do and how AI and blockchain specifically could be used within your business currently, right now, where you could adopt it, not changing just by things you do. It might not be useful for what you do, but you don't know. You'd be surprised on how many repetitious things you do every day that can be benefited by both AI and blockchain. So this trained AI will help audit whatever you're doing and give you an idea of different things from automation or procedures that could be done with either using AI or blockchain to improve your practices right now. And that would be basically, a starting point. It would be a jump start to you getting involved with these technologies, because these technologies are going to be so prominent very quick. They're just looking to structure all the clarity in the rules so they make sure they get their cut. That's how things just go, folks. I mean, you can lie to yourself and think They're all excited to tell you when they come up with something new. Oh, we're all going to get this together. Doesn't work that way. And just paying a little attention can make a major difference on where you propel yourself in the next 3 to 5 years. And those numbers, let me tell you, that 3 to 5 years is very, very important. All right, this tells you that's on the track, on the rails going forward, and this thing could go off the rails. I mean, we're seriously playing with some stuff that they don't know what they're playing with. That if made wrong, especially AI, without the proper guidelines. And I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, but we're playing with things that we don't truly understand the effects that it'll have on a society. And you have a large portion of society that don't even realize or think that these technologies are going to affect them in any way. And they are. That's why, like I said earlier as well, that many people feel like everything's moving fast and quicker. It is in a sense, but a lot of it is because they aren't realizing or keeping up with what's going on. And I'm not trying to put anyone down. What I'm saying is, if you feel this way, take the time now because it still is early to understand these tools and cater them to what you do every day and give you freedom, because at the end of the day, that's the real wealth, right? You can make more money, great, but if you're working all day long, you don't get to see your family or to do whatever you want to do, how does that benefit you? The freedom is really where, a lot of people are targeting and where they want to be. It's not getting addicted to these new technologies or glorifying them in a way that ruins your life. What you want them to amplify or improve your life with what are comfortable with doing or that you currently do. So what we want to do is get the basics of all these, the understanding of how they work with what we currently do, and how we can create a method or a system to use them, to grow with them, to benefit as it comes along. And let me tell you, there's a lot of benefits. Just like you saw the people with the internet boom, and we saw people reach wealth levels we never thought, these technologies are going to surpass that. We're going to hit these out of the park, and people aren't going to believe what we're going to see coming before us. And I know this video might have been a little more, I don't know, over the top, say, but it just, when I think about these things and I actually see them playing out, I mean, some of the stuff they talk about might be far out there, but a lot of these things are currently being put in place. They're just waiting to they can legally do what they want to do. The infrastructure is being built, and it has been for years. The money is being laid out, and let me tell you, these people in big business don't lay money out if they don't think there's a return on their investment. So let's see if maybe we can help you if you're interested in using these tools and these technologies for what you do every day. And if they benefit you, you're going to be happy about it, and hopefully I can make it easier. So the next video in this overview of the AI, blockchain, robotics is robotics, and how these techs are going to fall right into the robots and how far out that's looking. But thanks for joining me. Uh, Listen to my morning ramble, and hopefully you got a little bit out of it and see a direction of where this channel is going, and hope to catch you on the next one. Have a great day. Ciao.